it's FlagFun George, and we have the map of Vietnam. Yes, it's the Vietnam War. We're talking about the Vietnam War today. So don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And guys, we've been exploding recently. Check Social Blade. You'll find out for yourself. I mean, yeah, we have been exploding. And I really thank you all for doing so and helping me out. So anyways, the Vietnam War lasted 20 years from 1955 November to April 7, 1975. I was about to say 1795, but no, 1975. So we have North Vietnam, South Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, which were all four involved in the war, with the main being between South and North Vietnam. So North Vietnam was a communist that was supported by the USSR and China, and the South Vietnam was an anti-communist supported by the US. Now, it lasted from 1955 to 1975, but it wasn't really too much of fighting in the 50s. It really kicked off in the 60s. In the North Vietnam, which they called the troops the Viet Cong, also went down here, but also have the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which went from North Vietnam down to South Vietnam, so they could just take an alternate route to get to South Vietnam. It went from north to south, and it went through Laos and Cambodia, which is how they were involved in the war. They both supported North Vietnam, although the United States got involved pretty quickly and bombed Cambodia. And of course, they bombed all across Vietnam. And Vietnam was the bloodiest proxy war of the Cold War. A proxy war is a war that is part of a main war, but it's between the two sides, but they're not directly fighting, so it wasn't directly between the USSR and the United States at any time, but they just sent help to other countries, and them fighting between each other, and this was the biggest and bloodiest one. Yeah, not very happy. But, Grandpa that was in some of my other videos was actually in the Vietnam War. He's, of course, from America, and he fought in the Vietnam War. And in the Vietnam War, the South had a lot more allies, but the North had less allies, but stronger allies. The North was allied with China and the USSR, and the South, North also had Laos and Cambodia, and South Vietnam has France, USA, and other USA allies, the biggest one being South Korea. And they all landed when the North tried to start invading the South across near the 17th parallel, which is this line right here. And the 17th parallel is kind of like the 38th parallel between North and South Korea. And it was a DMZ until the war ended, when it was destroyed. So the South's capital was Saigon and the North was Hanoi. And North Vietnam was a lot more successful at a lot than South Vietnam with the help of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So in the 60s, the North Vietnam and the Viet Cong used the Ho Chi Minh Trail to get through South Vietnam. Vietnam is a jungle country, and so is Laos. Cambodia not so much, but it's mainly flat grasslands, but with a little bit of jungle too. But there's not really much fighting in Cambodia anyways. So the United States wasn't really good at fighting in the jungle, and the North Vietnam and Viet Cong were talented at it, so that was not a hardship for the United States and South Vietnam. South Vietnam was a little bit better with their own troops in the jungle, but not as good as the Viet Cong with North Vietnam. So the North Vietnam took control of Laos. They got communist. Cambodia, they turned communist, but the U.S. got in and bombed Cambodia, as aforementioned, and bombed them. And they turned communist, but then they weren't but then they decided to not be communist anymore with the fall of the Soviet Union. But then with North Vietnam now invading South Vietnam surrendered in April of 1975, and the U.S. had all of its troops leave 2 years earlier. So they went overseas across the Pacific back to the homeland. And with the fall of the South, you have a marker right here. Quite a few things changed. 1, 17th parallel border's gone. And 2, the Saigon, which is the capital of South Vietnam, was renamed Ho Chi Minh City, which was named after the leader of North Vietnam. So it'd be Ho Chi Minh City. And this marker came right. Okay. So yeah. And I'm not going to bother writing city because I don't want this to be too long. And anyways, short recap, just like the Korean War. North Vietnam made Laos and Cambodia communist. USA God interfered. Bombed Cambodia for supporting North Vietnam. Didn't really bomb Laos. They were struggling over the Lao and Panhandle, which is this part of Laos. But then when the U.S. started deploying its troops back home, France left and other USA allies like South Korea left. And then South Vietnam couldn't stand the Viet Cong and the other forces of North Vietnam, China, and the USSR. So South Vietnam fell, it united to one country. He would write it here, but I don't want it to be too long again. And they used the Ho Chi Minh Trail to their advantage, which is one of the key factors in winning the war. Anyways, thank you for watching, and bye-bye.